Hello guys. Thought I would just send you a quick video instead of trying to type out an email. Sitting here with my dog while I'm getting ready to go into my appointment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a picture of what I wrote on the board yesterday, and that is what we're going to go over. Okay. I forgot to bring the email sheet to myself, so I cannot email you the review problem sheet. But what I'm going to do with that is, as I'm explaining through here, what some of these things or some of those problems that are on that sheet, I will take that sheet, write the answers out on it, and then I will send you a picture of that first thing in the morning. I should get there about 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I will send that out to you. Okay. So after you watch this or attach this video, if you're looking at the picture that I've sent you, on the left-hand side there, it talks about the format of the test. There's going to be 10 multiple choice questions and 5 problems. I've even listed them out on which chapters is going to come from. Okay, so there's going to be 3 multiple choice from 12, 4 from chapter 15, 3 from 18. Then the problems, we're going to have 2 problems from chapter 12, 2 from 15, and 1 from 18. Okay, moving on down the screen for chapter 12. What you guys need to know for investments and stuff is know that bonds, if we buy other companies' bonds, that's a debt investment. If we buy other companies' stock, that's an equity investment. And then how to classify them, okay? So debt investments have the 3 classifications: trading, available for sale, and held to maturity. Trading bonds are the ones that we are actively looking to sell. Held to maturity, if you remember, we have to have the positive intent and ability to hold them. Okay, and if it fits in neither one of those categories, they are available for sale. Okay, so you can expect a multiple choice question along those lines about how to classify. And then along the trading and available for sale securities, they use fair value accounting. So you need to remember how to make the fair value adjustments. Remember whatever number you find between the book value and the fair value. That is what your ending fair value adjustment has to be. And usually the journal entry is the one adjusting entry to make that happen. Okay. Remember that trading goes into net income, which affects net income, of course. And available for sales is an unrealized gain, which goes into OCI, which is an equity account. Okay. So you can expect a multiple choice on given, or maybe you have to classify it and then figure out how it's going to affect the income. If it is an OCI, it's not going to affect income at all. All right. And then the held to maturity, that is where your first problem is going to come from. And I don't remember which handout it was, but it was one of the handouts I gave you where they started with held to maturity. And then after the year, something happened and they decided to sell it. It is going to be that exact same problem. Okay. It was one that we did in class. And I know I went over with you, Tanner, on your own when you came back because you missed that class. The second part is equity. You have to know how to classify equity because what we're looking for is significant influence. If it has significant influence between 20 and 50%, we have to use equity accounting. If we do not have significant influence, we use fair value accounting, which is the exact same as trading for debt investments. Okay. Problem number 2 is going to be a equity question where you have significant influence. Okay. I had something written out for this, but I thought it's going to be easier and try instead of me trying to explain it through this video. This is going to be one where the problem is going to come straight from the sheet that I have made up. So you will have the answers to it and you will see how they lay out exactly, okay, when I send that to you tomorrow morning. On to chapter 15. Chapter 15 was about stockholders' equity. So you need to know the different types of equity, everything that goes into the equity section, which is across the top. There's common stock, preferred stock, treasury stock, the additional paid in capital for all the stock accounts, retained earnings, and then there's OCI, that is an equity account. Okay. Multiple choice questions, rights of shareholders, common stock shareholders, they have voting rights. They have the preemptive rights in some cases. Remember, Illinois is not one of those states, but in most cases they have preemptive rights if it's in the charter. They have rights to dividends if declared, and they also have the right to the assets should the company decide to go out of business or liquidate. Okay, moving on down, the types of preferred stock. There was cumulative, convertible, and participating. Okay, the only one you're going to have to do any calculations with is the cumulative. Just remember that convertible can just be preferred stock that's converted into common stock, and participating means that after they get their share of dividends, they get to take some of the common stock dividends as well. Because preferred stocks, their rights is they get their dividends paid before their common stock. Okay, so whenever the company declares dividends, they're going to get their set amount, and then the common stock shareholders get whatever's left over. Okay, but they do not get voting rights. That's what they give up in order to get that. Okay, so you can probably see maybe to identify different types of preferred stock, maybe as a multiple choice question, rights of shareholders, stuff like that in that area. Okay, your first problem from this one is a dividend problem. Okay, it is going to be a two-part problem. The first part is just going to be how to journalize dividend payments. Remember, there are 3 dates. There's the date of declaration, the date of record, and then the payment date. Okay, the date of record, the one that doesn't get an entry, and the other 2 just get the dividends payable and then the payment out of the dividends. The second part of that question is going to be to determine how much goes to preferred stockholders and how much goes to common stockholders. And I can tell you the preferred stockholders are going to be cumulative. And remember, cumulative means that they get it, even if it's not declared in the past, they are still owed that. That is called the dividend in arrears. So there will be some dividend in arrears in the problem. We have to go back and figure out how much exactly the preferred stock is owed and then divide the rest among the common stock. Okay? Problem 2 on the bottom of that is it says a long journal question. That is about stock issuance and stock buyback, treasury stock. Okay, there's about 7 entries, and there's 3 different ways that they issue stock. Okay, issue stock for cash, issue stock for services, and issue stock for equipment. And then there's treasury stock buyback, selling it for a gain and selling it for a loss. The important thing to remember is that when you sell it for a gain, you create an additional paid-in capital account. When you sell it for a loss, you take it out of the additional paid-in capital treasury stock account up until that reaches 0, and after that, it comes out of retained earnings. Again, this problem is on the sheet that I'm going to send you tomorrow morning, and I'll have the answers written out on it, so hopefully that'll make it make sense. Chapter 18, the last chapter, we talked about restricted stock units and stock options and how they affected compensation. Okay, so that's where the multiple choice are going to come from. Okay, you remember you had the restricted stock units, it was based off the market value of the stock at the time. And then you expensed it over the vesting period. Okay, the vesting period again was used for stock options, but at this time you didn't use the market price of the stock, you used whatever the fair value of the option price was. And that is what you're going to take to find your total compensation. And then you have to divide it out by its vesting periods to find out how much you're going to expense each year. We had multiple problems on handouts like that. You can review them. The earnings per share is going to be the last problem, the only problem from that chapter. And it is going to be one that is going to be where you have to find the basic and the diluted, and it is going to have all 3 factors into it. Okay? You're going to have, I think I do have something written out for this one here. I'm going to write it out better on my sheet. No, I don't. Okay? Because you have to find your basic earnings per share, which is your net income minus your preferred stock dividends divided by the weighted average shares outstanding. And then after that, you have to take each of the 3 things that could possibly change that, okay, or possibly dilute is what it's called. That's why it's the dilutive earnings per share. So we're going to first look at our stock options. After that, we have convertible preferred stock. We also have some bonds that are convertible into stock. What we have to do is we have to find a number and what would happen if they were all converted to stock. And that would be our earnings per share. Okay. I will write that out really detailed on the form that I send you tomorrow morning. Okay. But I think besides those two or three problems from that sheet, you got enough to study that it can keep you busy tonight. I will be there about 8:30, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And I have canceled my morning classes, so I will be in my office. After I email it out to you, if you look at it and you have any questions, feel free to stop by and I'll go over with you one-on-one. Other than that, have a great day, guys, and I'll talk to you later.